Alright, good evening everybody. Welcome back to TCR, Trinity Competitive Racing Season 10, and we are back here again for some more action coming your way from one of the most exciting tracks on the calendar. It is Spa-Francorchamps for the Belgian Grand Prix here tonight in Platinum class, and it's bound to be a very, very good race here tonight. In the booth with you guys tonight is myself, BLIN-MACHINE, once again. It seems like it's pretty much been a regular thing for me commentating on Platinum class this season, which I'm very happy to do. In the booth with me tonight was supposed to be ISRL Knight. I'm not sure what happened to him, but it's actually it's the return of the Smeg number 2. Smeg, how you doing?
Yeah, it's fantastic to be back once again, coming back from a wonderful race at Suzuka. I can't wait to see what these guys show us tonight here at one of the most perfect racetracks in all of motorsport, let alone Formula One. Such a magical place, Spa-Francorchamps. Such a unknown when it comes to these sort of races. So I'm very keen to see what happens for tonight's race.
And we're watching our leader at the moment of this championship. It's Sequid here, and he's starting out a hot lap and just about to head up the hill into Raidillon and Eau Rouge. Beautiful job through there, completely flat out in these brand new cars. Nothing else that he has to do through there, just pretty much turn the wheel and everything else is going to go smoothly for you. The weather on the screen right now looks a little bit gloomy in qualifying. I'm not sure if that's going to be any sort of a sign for what's to come later in the race, although I am getting information here from the chat that says it's going to be a dry race. Wouldn't it be great though, Smeg, if we had a dry that goes into, you know, a wet right towards the end of the race, or maybe starting on a slightly greasy track and, you know, all of those interchangeable conditions. Are you also a fan of drivers having to deal with that?
I love watching it, not so much going through it, because it is a bit of a nightmare going from dry conditions into intermediates, or from intermediates into dry. It's just horrible, that sort of transition period. It's not too bad when you're in the proper conditions, like when it's proper intermediate or proper dry, it's pretty okay. But in that sort of in-between period, it's a bit of a nightmare, I have to say. Through my own experiences, but I love watching them. I love watching very skilled drivers deal with it, because you see the best out of them in those sort of difficult conditions. You see the sort of best car control from these guys when they're in these sort of conditions, and the racing tends to spice up quite a bit as well. But also around a racetrack like Spa, that is already difficult enough in dry conditions. To have the wet weather come along and spice things up, yeah, it does make for some pretty entertaining racing. These guys are setting some pretty competitive lap times, steering me already into the 41s.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, 41.4 from Sequid. That guy is not wasting any time whatsoever here tonight. He is your current championship leader, Sequid, leading the championship with 88 points, and then Sean right behind him with 61. Sean currently sitting in second place in this qualifying session with a 142.0. Not quite there in the 41s, but very, very close. And that was just a banker lap for him, I'm sure, so he's gonna probably deliver a little bit more. 007 Skywalker just about to cross the line, only goes 10th right now with a 142.8. Pretty much everybody out on the track on the soft tire. Nobody is even gonna try and do any alternate strategies. You know, I myself used to be a big fan of alternate strategies last season. I feel like it really worked out for me, especially when you compare my performance last season and this season so far. It's definitely, I feel like I have to go back to that sort of alternate strategy approach. On a track like Spa, is that gonna make a difference though?
Maybe. We might see a couple of guys outside the top 10, maybe gamble starting on the medium compound rather than the softs, but yeah, here in qualifying, I think drivers might try and favour track position more than anything else around Spa. Although, overtaking around here is pretty straightforward. We've got two obvious overtaking spots at La Source, which is turn 1 and Lake Com. Both of them come after DRS zones and move into heavy braking zones, so overtaking is pretty simple around there. You've got a kind of opportunity at the bus stop chicane as well, coming after Longchamp, so quite a few overtaking opportunities. So if you've got a good car underneath you, and you're able to not lose track position at the start if you start on the medium compound, you might be able to make that alternate strategy work. But also you have to factor in stuff like safety cars and changing conditions. Like the drivers say that it's going to be dry all the way through. I've experienced races where it says it's going to be dry all the way through, or maybe a bit of overcast conditions towards the end, but it actually starts to rain. But it doesn't get heavy enough, so then it becomes intermediate conditions. So on the graph, it just shows sort of overcast, maybe a bit of sun. But it actually starts to rain. It takes a little while for this track to go to intermediate conditions, it seems. So if there is a bit of cloud cover for tonight's race, we might see a few drops. Not going to intermediates, but just
a greasy track, yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
I think so. I think it could definitely happen, and you are absolutely correct that the weather broadcasting, so to speak, model on this game, it's absolutely horrible, because it tells you one thing and then something completely different actually happens. So yeah, I completely agree with that one. And I was actually just wanting to mention Shaddy Duck is on a complete flyer of a lap there. He was at least through the first sector. He was quickest, but only ended up 12th right now, 144.6. That is definitely very much down the grid. But look at how many drivers are out there again on another brand new set right now. Everybody from Seafreeze all the way up to Sequid, and there goes Go-To-Guy as well. I was gonna say he's the only one in the pits, but he's just come out as well. 9.5 minutes to go in qualifying. That pretty much means that they're on their second set and they'll have plenty of time to go on the third set. Is grid position here really that important for our drivers tonight?
Like I said, you do have some obvious overtaking opportunities on this racetrack, right? So turn 1, turn 5, maybe bus stop. But other than that, it's kind of difficult to make some moves around here, coming through the second sector. Yeah, it might be a bit difficult to try and make a move. Perhaps maybe into turn 12, which is the corner that Shaddy Duck is coming up to now. I've made a couple of overtaking opportunities work out here, but you kind of have to commit.
Oh, look at this! Sequid is getting slipstream from Tasmanian Devil up the hill through Radion in Arouge. They're so close! They're literally almost touching wheels, and it's weird because I think Tasmanian Devil was giving him the slipstream, but they were sticking together for way too long there, and Sequid sets a purple first sector there, not by much, only by 76 thousandths of a second, so that is incredibly close. And now coming into the massive turn 8, and that turn always messes me up, I gotta say. Turn 9 now is almost 90-degree corner, but in these cards nowadays it's just completely nothing. And this sector, oh my god, this is where a lot of our drivers so far in silver and in platinum class have lost a lot of time, lost some front wings, and a couple of times even lost some wheels. So we're gonna have to watch for what happens here tonight. Spec, what would be your prediction in terms of virtual safety car? Do you think we're gonna get something like that? And just before I pass it off to you, Sequid just went 3/10 quicker in the second sector.
Yeah, I just noticed that he absolutely nailed that second sector. It was very well done. Safety cars? I don't know. This game is weird when it comes to safety cars and virtual safety cars. You can have the biggest accident in the world, and all you'll get is yellow flag on the racetrack. And like a matter of a few laps later, Sequid does a 41-1. So we might see some low 40s here tonight at Spa, which is absolutely ridiculous. But you can have a driver just lose a front wing, and the safety car will come out for that. So, yeah, I don't know. I think it's probably best that we keep an open mind in regards to the safety cars, because it's so unpredictable in this game. I genuinely think when it comes to safety cars, it's all down to RNG, to random number generation. Like, there's an accident that happens, and it's just a matter of chance of whether you get a safety car or a virtual safety car, because yeah, some of the incidents you see and what the in-game stewards do, they just don't really match up at all. So yeah, probably open mind is probably a good thing when it comes to safety cars.
All right, well, that looks like the second run of most of our drivers in qualifying is now complete. W moved up into 6th place. Sean, Breezy, and Sequid, and pretty much everybody else has stayed exactly where they are, although they did improve on their time. Some of them did. It looks like Go-To Guy improved a little bit. Sequid improved by 3/10 on his previous time, so he's just on a complete push, and I think he's on a big push also because, Smeg, you might not know this, but he had a horrible race last week in the 100% Grand Prix. He lost out quite a few points on his lead. I think he ended up finishing 10th or 9th or somewhere around there. So that definitely hurt his championship lead. So now Sean is really closing up the gap, but I really like this close fight between Tasmanian Devil, TCR Seafreeze, Kersey, Nelsy Baby, and 007. All of those guys, they are just within 16 points of each other. So it's super close in this Platinum class in Season 10, and we've still got 10 more rounds to go before we even complete this this race here tonight. So that's going to be quite a bit more racing. In terms of you know, your predictions just for tonight, though, who do you think we're going to see on the podium?
Well, hard to ignore Sequid at the moment. He's currently got pole position by 0.3 of a second, which is quite achievement around Spa. He's sort of head and shoulders above the rest. At the moment, I'm just keeping an open mind on whether a driver is able to step up to the challenge, maybe get a really good lap together. It also helped that Sequid got a tow from his teammate down the Kemmel Straight, but so perhaps if one of these guys wants to try and challenge pole position, they might need a little bit of a helping hand from their teammate, a bit of radio communication between teammates to try and organise something for the final lap. But for P2 and 3, don't know. I would assume someone in that top 5 will definitely have a good crack at getting the podium, but around Spa, it's so unpredictable because almost anything can happen around here.
Yep.
So I might gamble with someone sort of in the midfield. I'm going to gamble potentially Black Angel getting P3. Who would I put for P2? Maybe Sean in the Ferrari. So I'll go Sequid, Sean, and Black Angel, just as a sort of gamble.
Yeah, and I wouldn't blame you for gambling that, because somebody like KGB Black Angel, he's just got one of those skills. Like, he's one of those drivers that's got the skill of getting through the field. He can start in 15th, 13th, or wherever, and he's just gonna climb his way through. He's got also, I think it's also a lot down to accident avoidance and just incident avoidance and just staying out of trouble. Running your line, running your race, running your own strategy, and just, oh, there he just runs a little bit wide and touches the gravel. I think it was through turns 12 and 13, but he still sets a purple second sector. That is pretty impressive from KGB Black Angel. His first sector was pretty clean, but it didn't look as fast as Sequence did. But now we've got Breezy, Sean, Go-To Guy, and W in the top 10. Those are guys that are not coming out for their third and final run here in qualifying for this round. KGB Black Angel has abandoned his lap, and he is going into the pits. Let's see who was the first one to come out. It looks like Breezy is going to be the first one. Yeah, he's coming into the final chicane right now, and he will be starting out another hot lap. Let's go on board with him and really focus on this one. Swag, you wanna walk us through this one?
Sure thing. So he's heading up to La Source, turn 1, 7th gear, 8th gear, almost 190 miles an hour, down to first gear for the Apex. Interesting, and short shifts all the way up to third gear. And have a look at that. D'Amato, his teammate. I said you needed a bit of teamwork, and that's exactly what the McLaren crew are doing. D'Amato is going to give him a massive tow down the Kemmel Straight. You'll see D'Amato also pull off to the right, let Breezy slingshot on by. There we go. Absolutely well done. And look at that, a 10th up in the first sector through Lake Dog, into turn 7, down into turn 8, as Blin mentioned, it's a very difficult corner, a lot of negative camber. It wants to push you away from the apex. Into No Name, turn 9, this corner famously has no name whatsoever related to it. Into Toulon, turn 10, a very difficult corner, a notorious one from 2019 if you touch that info curve. Into turn 12 and 13, very fast, flowing answers into the left-hander. Fifth gear, 127 miles an hour, a massive moment, but he catches it. Into turn 14, heading into 15, using all the curve. He's still a 10th up. He needs to find another 2 tenths in order to try and get pole position. Now heading up through the third sector, past turn 16, into turn 17, launching on one of the few corners from the original layout of Spa-Francorchamps, the old 13-kilometre, 8-mile circuit, into the bus stop. A bit of a messy bus stop. I think he turned for the apex a little too early. He's compromised his run up to the line, and he actually doesn't improve. He lost a lot of time in that third sector.
That was unbelievable from him. And now Sequid is on the hot lap and getting slipstream from Tasmanian Devil, his teammate, and he peels off really quickly off to the right to give Sequid a really good chance. I mean, Tasmanian Devil is now on an outlap, so these guys are timing each other beautifully. I don't know if they're on a party together on team radio and they're telling each other when they're coming out to their hot lap, but it's very smart, because I was going to say, you know, if you're comparing Breezy and Damaso right now, Damaso is over a second down on Breezy's time, so when is it going to be Breezy's turn to give slipstream to Damaso, or the other way around? Or no, there we go, Breezy now retires from the session, so he is done, because it's pretty much over now. Sequid is still on the hot lap, even though he's on pole. He did not improve through... Oh, now he improves through the second sector, but he wasn't much quicker through the first sector there. So just a little bit more to go on this lap, and he's going to finish it out here. But yeah, Tasmanian Devil is going to lose out on setting a time at all in this session, and that's going to really suck for him. So this slipstream definitely works for the #1 driver, or I guess there's a clear #1 driver in Mercedes and McLaren. Would you agree with that?
I guess so, looking off that, as Sequid comes across the line. Oh, he doesn't quite crack into the 1 minute 40. I only just missed out. 1 minute 41.038. An excellent time from the Mercedes driver of Sequid. But yeah, it seems like there's sort of clear #1 and clear #2 drivers. But I think Tasmanian Devil going to peel into the pits. There we go. So yeah, that's very unfortunate. We've got a Mercedes at the front of the field and one literally at the back of it. So, oh dear.
Well, we'll see what Tasmanian Devil can do from that starting position. I mean, it's not completely all gone for him. We saw Speedster last week in the 100% race come from the complete back end of the grid, not being able to qualify because he's a reserve driver, and he ended up winning the race, and he probably ran the cleanest and the best race out of everybody else. He did overtake quite a few cars in the first couple of laps as well, so you never really know, especially in Platinum class. These guys are the top of the chain, pretty much, of the food chain in this league. They're racing with no assist whatsoever, no line, no anything else, manual gears. A couple of drivers in here are still racing on a controller and being able to do that on the pad. I gotta, you know, give them hands down for that, because I have no idea how they're able to. But yeah, it looks like this is gonna be the end of qualifying. Sean did close up the gap to Sequid by about a couple of tenths there, so he's now only about a tenth and a half down on the pole time. But Sequid, 141.038, beating out everybody else in the field. Sean coming close with a 141.221, and Mercedes is going to be on pole here again.
Fantastic bit of qualifying, particularly around here at Spa. It's always nice to see drivers absolutely centered around this magical racetrack.
And Breezy
can replicate it into the race.
Yeah, and Breezy's going to be starting out on that second row in third place. Mabby01 in fourth place. W in fifth. Go-To Guy in sixth. Fail in seventh. FYKV 8th, 007 9th, Chatty Duck is going to be 10th on the grid. We've got KGB Black Angel in 11th, Damaso in 12th, Seafreeze in only 13th place, not a great qualifying from him, GTR Lion in 14th, End of the World in 15th, and Tasmanian Devil not setting a time, but giving a huge slipstream to Sequit to be able to set that beautiful time. Alright, so just want to throw out a huge thank you to everybody who's already watching this stream. We've got quite a few people watching it right now and sending in quite a few comments. Let's go through here as well. Let's see, Stephen Jones says it's going to be a dry race. Oh, it's looking very gloomy though, even though everybody is telling me that it's going to be a dry one. I'm looking at some new names here I've never really even seen in our chat. Joey2J, thank you so much for joining the stream, and if you guys are new to the channel, please make sure to leave us a like, subscribe to the channel to make sure you don't miss out on any other races or any action that's going on here. We're just getting started to go on the formation lap for this round 6 for Season 10 in Platinum class here at Spa-Francorchamps. It is definitely going to be an exciting one. And Smeg, look at that weather. I don't know what what we expect here.
Like I said, when it says dry, for some reason here at Spa, that doesn't always mean it. So I think with these guys, hopefully we won't see any wet weather, because the guys will probably get a bit angry because of that, because the game clearly says it's dry. But yeah, it can pull a few tricks here at Spa, so I guess we'll just have to wait and see. But as it's taking a while for us to load into the session, isn't it?
Yeah, but I think what I think they've already selected their strategy, so we might have a minor glitch, which definitely would suck. I really hope Codemasters gets a hang of things very soon and fixes... Oh, there we go. So it looks like now we're going to advance. I think we were giving time to the drivers to actually select a good strategy so that we don't have to rush everybody within the 30 seconds. And yeah, there's a shout out coming in to Ben Swerven as well. I don't see him on the grid here tonight. I'm not sure what happened to him, but we'll pass it on. Stephen Jones says Breezy for the win. Let's see if Breezy can hold on to that. But yeah, thank you guys so much for all the comments, and make sure to subscribe and leave us a like. And yeah, this is going to be an exciting one. Also, just wanted to ask everybody who's writing and watching in the comments right now, let us know your predictions. Who do you think is going to be on pole position? Is Sequid going to be able to hold on to this beautiful starting position, or what do you think is going to happen? Let us know. Just like Seafreeze did last night, I'll take a look at that after the race, and we'll see if anybody got the right predictions here. But Sequid is your pole position man, with Sean following closely behind, Breezy in 3rd, Maybe in 4th, W in 5th, Go-To Guy 6th, Failed UX 7th, FYKV in 8th, 007 in 9th, and Chatty Duck in 10th. The predicted pit strategy is a one-stop, going either onto the hards or the medium tire around, what was it saying, lap 7 or 8, somewhere around there?
Yeah, about lap 7 or 8, we'll see the soft runners come in and pit for medium tires. And honestly, just avoid the hards at all costs. I think, I'm pretty sure I'm right, that those medium tires can actually just go all the way through the race. Like, even if you pit on lap 1 and go on to the medium tires, I'm pretty sure they'll go to the end. And with these guys using no assist, they have far greater control over tyre temps, over tyre wear as well. So they should be able to manage that and get those mediums to the end. So the hards, avoid them at all costs. You do not want to touch them under any circumstances. But it's interesting to see as well, 4 drivers outside the top 10 have selected to go onto the medium tyre. So a couple of drivers opting to go with the alternate strategy. And for those guys, it's just about keeping your nose clean and not getting any damage in those early laps, because then you'll have to make a pit stop and you're kind of forced onto, well, if it's earlier on in the race, you might have to actually use the hard tyre, because then it can use the softs. The softs, they will definitely not make it. You'll have to make another pit stop if you go onto another set of softs. So, yeah, for those guys outside the top 10 on the medium tyre, it's all about keeping your nose clean, hopefully picking up a few positions here and there.
And the weather is, I gotta say, that sky is just looking so gray. It's definitely not what you would expect for a dry race to look like, but you never know with this F1 2020 game. Their weather models all over the place. We're probably gonna have the standings glitch and the position changes glitch right as we start the race, but it looks like everybody is now lining up on the grid, and we're getting ready here to start the race very, very soon. Yeah, there we go. We should be good to go now. This is a pretty wide angle that we've got here from looking at Sean, and we're going to be able to see the lights go on here in a second. The grid is still twitching. They're still lining up. Hopefully it clears up. I was just talking about Codemaster glitches, and we've got another one.
Oh, boy. Don't you love it? Good stuff.
Alright, let's see if we're gonna be able to get this settled. Let's give it a minute here. But again, guys, thank you so much for joining the stream, and what is going to be an exciting race here tonight. We can definitely predict that, because Spa never disappoints with all of the different corner variations here in a really long straight after you pass Radion and our Rouge. You have a really nice DRS zone there, and we've seen in qualifying how much the DRS and the slipstream can definitely help you gain a lot of speed down that straight. It looks like we're still waiting for the grid to get lined up. I don't see any lights on. The green flag is out though, which is very weird. We're getting comments here for Skylar Sutton saying, I feel like the lobby is broken. Skylar, I gotta agree with you. I feel like it definitely is having some issues right now.
It's fantastic to see. It really reminds you that this is a Codemasters game. Oh my word.
Alright, so we're still waiting. Thank you guys, everyone, for being patient with us. Fortunately, we don't control the game to the extent that we would love to. Let's see if they're gonna go for a restart. No, not yet. I don't see any messages about restarts. So we're gonna keep on waiting here on the grid. I was just watching from on board with Breezy. In real life, if they were waiting this long for the lights to come on, I think there was one situation, was it in Turkey, when the lights were broken and they had to do a sort of recast crash.